Have you ever felt like you're just, reacting to whatever life throws at you? Well, what if you could actually master your own experience? What if you could do it just by understanding the very structure of reality itself? Today, we're going to dive into a framework built on 5 fundamental laws that, well, they propose to govern exactly how your reality gets created. I mean, this is really the ultimate question, isn't it? The answer completely changes the game. It determines whether you feel powerless or totally empowered. And everything we're talking about today is built around this one powerful idea, that you have way more creative power than you probably think. You know, the difference between these two ways of being really just boils down to one thing: knowledge. See, when you're ignorant of how reality actually works, you can't help but feel like a victim. But understanding the rules of the game, that's where real empowerment and confidence come from. Think about gravity for a second. You don't have to believe in it for it to affect you, right? But once you understand it, you can work with it. You can build airplanes. So the idea here is that there are even more fundamental, unseen laws governing our experience. Understanding this model is the key to shifting from confusion to real, actual control. So where do we even begin? Well, we start with the most foundational concept of them all. This is the one that underpins the entire framework. It's called the law of oneness, and it completely reframes what we even think of as reality. To put it simply, it means that even though your mind sees a world full of separate people and things, it's actually just one single thing happening. All the separation, the apparent multiplicity, it's an illusion. Kind of like a waking dream. Okay, I know this can be a pretty tricky concept to really wrap your head around intellectually, but there's a fantastic metaphor that makes it so much clearer: the dream state you go into every single night. Just look at this comparison. When you're dreaming, the entire universe, the people, the places, the crazy stories, it all feels completely real. It feels like it's out there, separate from you. But what is it all actually made of? It's just one thing, right? Your consciousness. That entire complex dream is just you. And this just nails the point perfectly. The core idea is that our waking reality works on the very same principle. Everything we see, everything we touch, it's all a projection of a single unified consciousness. According to this model, there aren't a bunch of things here. There's only one. Okay, so if it's all just one unified consciousness, how do we end up with all these different specific experiences? Well, that brings us to the next layer of the model: the actual mechanisms we use to create. You can literally think of these as your creative superpowers. This law right here is absolutely crucial. Think of your attention as the tool that selects a specific experience out of this infinite field of pure potential. Whatever you put your attention on, that's what you experience. Period. There's just no other way for it to work. So here's how that creative process actually breaks down. First, you've got this infinite potential, right? Like a formless mist of everything that could ever be. Then you apply your attention. You focus on one specific possibility in that mist. And just like that, poof, that potential collapses and becomes your actual lived experience. So how does something that's totally formless, like consciousness, take on the appearance of form? Within this framework, the answer is simple: vibration. The idea is that the static, formless consciousness becomes dynamic by moving, by vibrating. And that's how it shows up as the physical world we all perceive. The color red you see, that's just consciousness vibrating at one specific frequency. The feeling of joy, that's another frequency. So here's the kicker: if you want to change your experience, you have to change your vibration. And how do you do that? Well, you do it by changing your focus of attention. See how it all connects? All right, so now we get the basic mechanism, right? Attention focuses consciousness into a specific vibration. So now, let's explore the governing principles, the rules, that add some predictability and nuance to this whole creative process. This law is pretty straightforward. It basically says you can't have one side of a coin without the other. You can't have up without down or good without bad. Trying to get rid of one of these poles only makes the other one stronger, because they literally define each other. Here are some super common examples of these inseparable pairs. But let's look at the last two on this list: inner and outer, and cause and effect. These two are absolutely critical for mastering your experience. Now here's where it gets really interesting. This polarity presents a choice. You can only put your attention on one pole at a time. And this choice, right here, this is the critical moment. This is where the feeling of being a victim or a creator is actually born, in that split-second decision of where you place your focus. And this little diagram shows the fundamental flow of creation in this model. It's a one-way street. Your inner world, your beliefs, your feelings, that's the cause. The outer world of circumstances and events, that's just the effect. It's a direct reflection, a printout of what's going on inside of you. But see, most of us are trained to do the exact opposite. We focus on the outer effects, the problem at work, the lack of money, the difficult relationship. But when we put our attention there, we're just pouring our creative energy into the effect, which just reinforces the inner cause and keeps us stuck in a frustrating loop of powerlessness. So, how in the world do we actually break that feedback loop? This brings us to the most practical, hands-on part of our whole discussion, a guide for applying this knowledge to consciously change your life by, quite literally, rewriting your inner code. So, first step is to dissolve what you don't want. You start by recalling a memory that backs up a belief you want to get rid of. But here's the key. You bring it into your awareness not to relive the drama, but to isolate its emotional charge. Then, by consciously relaxing and breathing into that feeling, you neutralize its power. You're not erasing the memory, you're just dissolving the energetic glue that makes that unwanted reality feel so true. Now, to create a new experience, you use your imagination to build it. But the secret sauce isn't just seeing it in your mind's eye, it's feeling it in your body. Generating those strong, positive emotions, gratitude, joy, relief, as if you already have your desire, is what signals to your subconscious that this new reality is real. That feeling is what solidifies it into your experience. So if you take away only one thing from all of this, let it be this right here. Your real power is inside. You have to stop trying to change the reflection you see in the mirror. It's pointless. Instead, focus all your energy on mastering the cause, your own inner world of beliefs and feelings. Ultimately, every one of these laws points back to a single, powerful truth. Your attention is your creative superpower. Where you place it determines the reality you get to live in. So the only real question left is, knowing this, what will you choose to focus on now?